Stagepass. My name is Michael Monahan, and my guests this week are the group Winter Plans.
I was too young to think anything was wrong. I was just taught to think should just play along. But when it came down hard. Tired of playing the same part in the game, feeling insane. When we run from the pain, we don't get far. I was alone back then, much more than I thought. Finding my way through a place so cold and dark. But when it came down hard. Tired of playing the same part in the game, feeling insane. When we run from the pain, don't get far. When it came down hard. Tired of playing the same part in the game and feeling insane. When we run from the pain, we don't get far. Part in the game, and I feel it insane. When we run from the pain, we don't get far.
That is the opening track from the new album Homecoming. The title of that track is Run, and with me today are Casey Lane and John Garrett Kemper. This is an excellent sounding record, guys. Congratulations. This was recorded completely in Nashville, is that right?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you did quite a bit of traveling to get back and forth while this record was being made, John.
Well, Casey got to wake up in her own bed because she's living there now. But I came in from LA, and we roped some friends of ours into playing, and we did it at a studio called Sienna, which used to be called the Quad, which is a really cool room where Buffett did Margaritaville, which is he gave him a stained glass window when it became a hit, and there's like a little very Buffety looking little window in there, and Neil Young's Harvest was done, which is kind of cool. I love Harvest. And we were doing a record that has no electric anything on it. I mean, I guess pedal steel's kind of electric, but I think of it kind of as a wooden string instrument. And so no guitar solos, no electric instruments really. Piano, bass, acoustic, pedal steel.
The pedal steel sounds amazing on this record. Who was the artist on that?
Well, for your Bruce Boughton. So for your listeners, anybody wants to learn pedal steel, he's like one of the best teachers in the world, arguably not arguably one of the best pedal steel players in the world. He is most well known for being Garth Brooks's pedal steel player, but he is a Nashville giant, and he doesn't take him long to figure out what he wants to play and how he wants to do it. But he's a friend of Casey and I's for a long time, and he's played on another record that we did with Casey's sister, but he's the best. This is really good sounding stuff from him.
The Homecoming album is being released on March 26th, and the single from that album has just been released, and I would like to play that for you now. Here is Save Me, Tennessee.
This season, more reason to change with leaves. Much older, grown colder, hands hard like the trees. And in the morning, in the sun, I fade like a flower when the winter's coming on. In the evening when it's done, I pray someone will come take me from my ways. Nothing really changes around here. Days turn into nights and nights to years. Fight between the light and the fear. Fields rising, I'm driving Tennessee in the fall. Explaining, complaining how I missed it all. And in the morning in the sun, I fade like a flower when the winter's coming on. In the evening when it's done, I pray someone will come take me from my ways. Nothing really changes around here. Days turn into nights and nights to years. Fight between the light and the fear. This season, more reasons to change with the leaves.
That is a gorgeous, gorgeous song. I got to tell you, I think that's my favorite off the album. I don't know why, it just sticks with me, and I love it.
Casey, what do you think? Your
Well, that was
your
my
husband liked
that
it. You
was
better
my
explain the
personal
husband thing.
favorite on the whole record. So I feel like there's always this need, want, desire to have the first single be your favorite one. At least that's how I've always figured it out. And this was the one that I think was like the universal favorite, just not only because of the message and the feeling that Tennessee, I think I can really relate to this. A lot of the songs on the record, since JG really wrote most of it, well, he wrote all of it. Um, but a lot of them are fairly personal to him, but this one was one that I think I really resonated with as well because it kind of touched on the home and the warm embrace of Nashville and the way that it kind of saved me, as I say, from New York. I say it saved me from the gutters of New York, if I want to be honest. That's me being dramatic about it, but I think similarly, JG had an experience like that as well, where it's such a beautiful, safe, comfortable, homey feeling place here, and so I love that track.
Yeah, we both met our spouses there. I mean, we for us that's really even though I live in Los Angeles, it really is kind of always be home to me. It feels like a
You guys grew up together in Virginia Beach, right?
yeah. Casey's much older than me, so no, it's the it's the opposite. You know, somebody we're I don't want to get off topic. We're listening. So there was a record that Connor Oberst did with Phoebe Bridgers, who's a really obviously you know who the people are. They're great songwriters, but there's about the same gap in age between those two as me and Casey. But we we decided to do this before them. But I met Casey's sister in 2009. We were both going through divorce and kind of getting out of Virginia, and I didn't know her at all. And I knew her dad a little bit, who plays around town, and she was like, "Hey, we should write a record about what it's like to you know get divorced." And you know, we call it divorce rock, and we wrote it. She would come over once a week in Norfolk in this place overlooking the Waterside Mall, and we actually had a song called Waterside on that record that got played a lot on the radio back home where you are, Michael, and about how you know at the time the mall was they renovated it, but it was pretty in disrepair. So it became like the analogy for your life being in disrepair, and my apartment looks right down on that. So anyway, so we did that, and she came over once a week in that apartment, her sister, and we wrote this record, and Casey came out and played on it. And then we did one more in LA where we did it. And then Casey came out and played on the second one that we did in Nashville. And then during COVID, you know, it just didn't seem like a real celebratory. Those were kind of 80s rock records, like new wave-ish, you know, kind of cars-ish. It didn't seem like a time to be celebrating. It seemed like a time more to have a quiet record. So I convinced Casey. That band was called Summer Plans. I said, Casey, let's do a new band. We'll call it Winter Plans. We'll make it mellow. And then we did a record during COVID in LA at a studio in Santa Monica that was just guitar, cello, violin, and Casey on piano. And it was just, yeah, I love it. I love it. And it actually, in a lot of ways, it did better than some of the other happier ones. In fact, it did. A couple of songs got sold, and you know we got some stuff on the radio, and we just had a great time. And I was like, hey, let's do one more of these, but let's put a little. We're out of COVID. We can add drums. It can be a little bit more. I wouldn't say it's upbeat, but you know.
And John, the record that you are referring to there is the EP Ghosts, which came out in 2020. And I got to tell you, the addition of the strings mixed in with your compositions on that EP is just spectacular. I listened to that 5 times, I think, after hearing it the first time, and really, really fell in love with it.
Thank you. Well, I mean, and then Casey takes it and she makes the music. I can't do it without her. It's like I can write. I don't really have a diary. I'm not a big, you know, writer person, but there's something about, I learned when we made that record about divorce, it was therapeutic. I really enjoyed it. And so I really enjoy kind of taking I don't think people reflect enough on certain periods of their lives. And I like taking a black light to a specific period. That's fun for me. So this one really is about essentially high school, what it's like to grow up in what I view as, you know, a smaller town now. The good and bad of it. Like there's the awesome parts of it are there, and then the tough parts about it, and then the observation of what it did to other people. Some people thrived, some people didn't thrive, some people never kind of recovered, and those stories are all on there. So I can assure you, it's 100% real and 100%.
And Casey, since it's come up a couple of times, let's go ahead and spill the beans on this. Your father is a local legend, and his name is Louis McGee. So you come from rich stock, if I must say. He's just a great, great artist.
Yes, he is. Rightfully so. I'm a big fan.
Let's get back into the music and listen to one of the other new tracks from the album. This song is the title track, actually, and it's called Homecoming.
Oh, the lights on my street still burn white and lonely when I went back to see the hill I fell down. No one told me it was best that you stay down. And the sidewalk strange to see, where I hid my back under the oak tree when the sun went down. would drown. And I don't know why I can't fight the feeling. Used to want the rain to come down, pouring through the ceiling. Just a boy on the edge of the town. Grab the keys and go across town and smoke a cigarette while I'm hanging around, pretending not to see there's no one here who looks or acts like me. And I don't know why I can't fight the feeling. Used to want the rain to come down, pouring through the ceiling. Just a boy on the edge of the town. Parking lots and old hotels, apartment blocks that look scary as hell. Driving alone make you feel like running away from home.
That's another example of like, I'll do these demos, and I'm really bad at demos. I don't use a lot of music theory. I write in ways. I just put my fingers on pianos and guitars because they sound good to me, like stretching chords and all this stuff. And so the demos are really kind of rudimentary. And then, but this one of those songs where everybody gets in there and goes, "Hey," and you get a good group of musicians that you are friends with, and somebody goes, "Well, there's a lot of guitar on this, but what if I had a piano intro? And what if we took the chorus, because it was a pretty linear song, and we made it halftime?" Right? And I absolutely love it. That piano intro to me and the chorus going in from full time into halftime, it just dropped. I just love it. So that was a group effort led by the red haired woman that you're looking at.
And this record was produced and engineered by Casey's husband, Tim Brennan, correct?
Yes.
Longtime Nashville engineer, and engineered the record that I noticed when we were mixing a record in, what year was that? 2016.
15, yeah.
We all went to Nashville, and first mixing session, they're kind of talking to each other. Second mixing session, they're a little closer together. Third mixing session, I can't find them. Fast forward, they're married. They live in a little cottage in East Nashville, and they're living the music and singing bowl and business dream. They're about my favorite couple in the world.
We owe it all to JG playing matchmaker. Not trying to, but ultimately it works.
Casey, you have something that you're involved in that really fascinates me. What can you tell me about the singing bowls?
So, yes, I still am working on music with different artists with Tim. And I actually have a gig coming up next week. I'm still kind of in it a little bit, but for the most part, I've pivoted quite a bit into kind of a different aspect of music, which is focusing more on the healing aspects of it with crystal singing bowls. So it really works with our body's nervous system, and I facilitate sound baths and sound healing sessions for people where they can come and just relax. It's basically just a sound meditation. So that's what I'm doing full time, and it's very fun. It's a nice break on the system for being in my 30s now, and yeah, it's way more aligned with who I feel like I am right now. So,
and these bowls are specifically tuned to a particular key, is that right?
Well, they're in, you can get them in any note, really, within a certain octave range, but they are very musical. So my sound baths tend to be very moody with lots of triads, lots of chords, really modulating between majors and minors. I try to make it very melodic, which is fun. It feels like I'm just playing another instrument. So yeah, it's an extension.
Why didn't you put singing bowls on the new record?
Great question, because that should maybe be the next record. They're a little finicky to record. We've recorded them a few times. But yeah, I mean, I want to ultimately start doing some fusion records where there's a lot of bowls, but it's still kind of like pop.
Let's listen to one more record while we have a chance. This is the title track from their 2020 release called Ghosts, and this is the song Ghosts.
Lights go on when it starts raining. The winter's here and I'm complaining. The nights I spend alone inside my room, sleeping just to make the day be through. And all I want is you. This old house, it ain't worth saving. The ghosts are nice if I stop playing. Feel them in the room and in the hole. And I pretend that I'm not scared at all. And all I want is you. Sunday morning in the kitchen, think of all the things we do. And the sun is shining bright inside our room, and everything in LA is in bloom. And all I want is you. And I hate driving to the airport just to watch you walk away. I try and smile and wave inside the car, and I just never knew it'd be this hard. And all I want is you.
I am so glad that I was able to meet John Garrett Kemper and Casey McGee and do this interview. The new record, Homecoming, is an absolute joy to listen to. Stagepass has been brought to you this week by the author Karen Jones. Her newest book, The Summer of Grace, has been getting rave reviews, and you can find it in bookshops and with online sellers everywhere. Please don't forget to like us and follow us on Facebook. It helps us a lot. I appreciate it. We'll see you next week for another episode of Stagepass.